It's a good thing I brought my flux capacitor, because today we're going back in time. Are we back? We're back in Perris. P-E-R-R-I-S, Perris. Perris, California. I know that you and I have never been to Perris, California together, although we have been to Paris, France. Less Eiffel Towers here. Yes, no Eiffel Tower, no Louvre, no French kings have ever lived in this Paris. But it does have some claims on our affection in terms of history. I personally have a little bit of history in the city of P-E-R-R-I-S, Paris. Today is one of those days where I'm coming to explore something that I've always wanted to come see and film, but I've never managed to come out here. I never had a whole plan or a whole random land set up because I needed to go and see the place before I could do that. Finally, with the way the vlogs and the new random lands and the way things are going now, I can actually bring you guys with me when I go explore something or do the research on it. And so that's why I brought you out into the sweltering 107-degree Fahrenheit temperatures to see if we can see a little bit of history out here. I actually haven't been out here for years, and when I was spending time in Perris, California, it was not the nicest place in the world. There were drive-by shootings and gangs and horrible things happening. So I really have no idea what to expect from the place I'm going to, but I wanted to take you guys to somewhere that used to loom large in my life. I'm trying to see if I can find this place purely based on memory, but I haven't even driven anywhere near here for well over 10 years, and I gotta be honest with you, this was sort of an afterthought to my day, like, oh, maybe we can stop by here on the way to do something else. And I did not expect to be getting, honestly, just this much anxiety about it. It's kind of weird. Okay, this is definitely the right neighborhood here. I really do feel like I've taken a trip back in time. Oh, this is so weird. I know where I'm going. Oh, this is so weird. I used to ride my bike up and down these streets. Summer vacation, Christmas vacation, spring break. Young Justin was all up over here on his bike. And the reason why young Justin was out here all over the place on his bike is because this up here, this house right here, was my grandma's house. My grandparents moved to Anaheim in 1957, right across the street from Disneyland. And around 1990-91, after my grandpa passed away, my grandma moved out here to Perris. So I spent so much time in that house right there. And what's weird is, when my grandma moved in that house, none of these houses over here existed. So when we would look out the windows at night, there was all these unfinished, creepy houses with no windows and no doors. It was mildly terrifying, to be honest with you. But we used to come out here and spend weeks with my grandma in that house. And as you can see from the 106 right there on the old thermometer, it gets quite hot out here. I remember running around here in bare feet like I was used to doing in Anaheim. And I once burned the bottom of my feet so badly that I had to spend the whole rest of the week at my grandma's house, sitting in the living room with her, with my feet up, applying cream to the bottom of them while my cousin and my brother rode bikes around outside, because I went outside without shoes like an idiot. My grandmother passed away in 1999, and I think a few of my family members lived in the house for like a year or two after that. But pretty much since then, I have not been back out to this street. That's really weird and crazy. None of the neighbors look familiar. It's just weird to come to a place where I'm a foreigner, an alien. I completely don't belong here, but once upon a time, these were some of my stomping grounds. I was just thinking to myself, man, you know, you go to a lot of neighborhoods and point a lot of cameras at a lot of houses. I've never had any problems with it. Weird. I honestly didn't know how I would feel when I saw that house. I didn't know if I'd be sad and miss my grandma. She was not in the best of health when she lived in this house. She used to just sit in her chair inside that kind of bay window over there. She really couldn't get around that much. I'm not really that sad or nostalgic. I'm more just tripped out by how weird and different everything looks. Especially that this street used to seem huge and endless to me. This neighborhood was like massive. We could ride our bikes all over, and now that I'm back here, it's like, oh, it's so small. Like from my grandma's house here, looking down the street, I can see that there's a park at the end of the street. Man, that seemed like miles as a kid. It's strange to think that like 25 years ago, this neighborhood was brand new, unfinished houses and all this stuff. I don't know how things are now. The house looks super nice, super well maintained, but the rest of the neighborhood, I don't know. Coming down here to the end of the street and taking a look at the park, quite a lot of graffiti there, although it looks like they have a friggin' skate park here now. That's pretty awesome. There was no skate park when I was here. What a ripoff. I remember one time there was a drive-by shooting at this park, and after that, my grandma wouldn't let us go here anymore. No park for us. Well, now I'm a man and grandma's not around to boss me around anymore. Now I can go to the park if I want. Sorry, Grandma. I don't even want to go to the park. Okay, I'm not here for parks. I'm here for something else. It's not just my grandma's old house that's in Paris. There's something else in Paris that I really want to see. Some old friends. First, we gotta travel back across the city of Paris, but there's actually one more thing I wanted to show you guys. Like I said, when we were kids, we used to ride our bikes all up and down these streets, and this street over here, this street, I don't know if you can see the sign, is called Genuine Risk. So we always used to like make up all kinds of crazy stories like, oh no, we're riding down genuine risk. Our lives are in danger. Actually, driving around this neighborhood now, this is probably one of the nicer streets in the neighborhood. I don't remember bars being on these windows. Anyway, I was totally unprepared for today. I didn't bring my wind microphone, and I can see that there's a lot of wind outside. I don't even know if this place is gonna be open that we're going to. So today I'm taking a genuine risk, but still, trying to see some old friends. So let's see what we can see, huh? Just look at that scenery out there. If you look out there, that is pretty much what all of Paris looked like when my grandma first moved here. And keep in mind that where she lived before living out here was literally across the street from the employee entrance to Disneyland. So I watched the fireworks overhead every night, and then we, you know, had to come out here, and I was like, why? Okay, we've done it. I found the place I was looking for. Keep in mind, this is just a scouting mission. We're just going scouting together to check this out. And also keep in mind that I forgot the microphone that goes on top of you to block out the wind sound, and it's very windy out here now. And oh, and by the way, now it says it's 110 degrees, so. Oh yeah, it's a little windy out here, which usually stresses me out because I try really hard to like keep the quality up. But right now, I don't even care because I'm so excited by what I'm seeing. Feast your eyes on this. Look at this. Do you know what this is? I cannot believe what I'm looking at. We're back at Disneyland. What we are looking at here are two of the old Disneyland ticket booths out here in Perris, California. When I was younger, my brother Seth was obsessed with obsessed with trains. And from the very beginning of my grandma moving here, she told us, oh, did you know there's a train museum here? I'm gonna take you guys there. Well, in the 9 years between moving here and passing away, she never actually managed to bring us to the train museum. But years later, when I started doing these videos, I started looking up, wasn't there a train museum out there? Maybe I could go out there sometime for a random land. There is, in fact, a train museum out here called the Orange Empire Railway Museum. And imagine my surprise a year or two ago when I was doing the research and found out that the Orange Empire Railway Museum has two of the old ticket booths from Disneyland. Now, from the 50s all the way up till the 80s, there were another older set of ticket booths at Disneyland, but in 1980-ish, they built a bunch of brand new ticket booths. And these are a couple of those ticket booths, which means that these are the ticket booths that were at Disneyland when I was a kid. These are two of the very booths that my parents would have come up to the window right here, and I would have been down here like, oh my gosh, we're getting tickets, we're going to Disneyland. That is amazing. The ticket booths are closed right now, but I don't think the actual museum is closed, luckily, because I've seen people coming out of there. But check these out. Two original, quote unquote, Disneyland ticket booths. That's crazy. There are a lot of cast members working at Disneyland still today, to this day, who used to have to go through these doors and into these buildings to sell people tickets to the most happiest place on earth. Check out these vents on the back for the air conditioners. I never would have noticed those at Disneyland. I would have been too excited to go in. Whoa, this is so cool. Well, I mean, metaphorically speaking, it's cool. Actually, it's 100 and something degrees out here, and there's a blasting hot wind that feels like a blow dryer in my face, but I'm still really excited to take it. How epic is that? Now, like I said, this is a couple of years ago that I first found this out, and I had planned on coming here like a million times to see my old friends here at the Disneyland Ticket Booths. But with the way I used to film the random lands, I used to want to have to know every single detail, have all these old photographs, and be all prepared to do a whole storyline and a whole thing based around it. And so I always used to like to visit a place like this. I would have to visit here first, check it all out, go home, prepare myself, then come back and film it. And now with the new way I'm doing the videos, like especially this one for example, it's kind of better because I'm here on the research trip and I get to bring you guys. So that's cool. I'm seeing this for the first time since they removed these ticket booths. Now, if you guys are familiar with my other channel, the old school Random Land videos, you know I did a video about what ticket booths are left from the rides, because the rides used to take tickets and all that kind of stuff. So you know that I love old Disneyland ticket booths. And I'm 100% sure that I'll be doing another video about these booths and about this museum, because you're actually supposed to come here on the weekends because they have trains running and all kinds of activities and fun things to do. And you know, I've never been here before. But for today I thought, screw it, I want to see my old friends, the Disneyland Ticket Booths. Why not bring all of my new friends to see my old friends together? Dang, right up there would have been the signs for the different ticket prices for Disneyland. They would have had decorations on there and different holidays. This is so neat. The original 1950s ticket booths, I have no idea what happened to those. No idea if any of those survived or recycled anywhere. But these ones, I don't know if they were donated or they were auctioned off, but it's so cool that these weren't just destroyed. They came out here to serve a useful purpose. These ticket booths were removed from Disneyland some time ago. I mean, over 10 years ago now, I'm pretty sure. Because once they built Disney California Adventure, these ticket booths were doing double duty. They were selling tickets for both parks, and eventually they created those new ticket booths that they have today, where there's like a billion more seats and they can help guests better, and they're kind of like little offices on the inside with a bunch of different windows. And so the old style ticket booths went out, going the way of the buffalo. That's normally the type of thing that you would just demolish, destroy, throw in the trash can, maybe use for firewood. So it's so cool to see that they've survived. Yes! I almost don't even want to go, I don't even want to see the rest. I just, it's so cool. But there is actually some more Disney history inside of this place. Okay, this appears to be our entrance today on a weekday. Oh, this is so cool, you guys. I just like getting out of the house and doing weird things, even if it is 110 degrees. Welcome to the Orange Empire Railway Museum. A lot of rules here. Number one rule, no bare feet. I think I got that handled. Hop. Let's cross the tracks here and see what we can see on the other side. Now, I don't know how much you guys know about Disneyland history or Walt Disney's history with trains that led to the founding of Disneyland, but the super ultra simplified version is that Walt's animators were doing live steamers, which are these big size model trains that you could ride on, and he got interested in those and was interested in doing these live steam trains. But one of Walt Disney's animators, a very creative guy by the name of Ward Kimball, had a full-size train and train cars in his backyard in the San Gabriel Valley. It was called the Grizzly Flats Railroad, and you can imagine Walt Disney going to Ward Kimball's house and operating his full-size steam locomotive was not going to be outdone. It was not long before Walt Disney needed his own full-size railroad, and of course that led to the creation of Disneyland. Again, we'll get into this and do a full-fledged video later, but I'm just doing the short version of the history. Well, later on, after Ward Kimball passed away, what the heck was his family gonna do with a full-size steam locomotive in the San Gabriel Valley in the suburbs outside of Los Angeles? Well, they donated the train to the Orange Empire Railway Museum. Pretty sure there's no way we're actually going to be able to see that train today, because I just went inside the depot over there to pay for my ticket to walk around the museum, and the lady inside told me that it's free to walk around the museum today because they literally have nothing going on the weekdays. She's like, there's nothing going on. You can go out there if you want. And supposedly all the car barns are locked and there's no way to see inside them. Unless, of course, you run into a docent driving a cart around, leading a few people from room to room.
Big choo-choo.
Wow, stroke of good fortune. Running into the one docent working on the random weekday and being let inside. Do you know what these are right here? If you've ever been to DCA or seen the movie Roger Rabbit, you've heard of the red car. The Pacific Electric Railway that used to crisscross all over Southern California, the LA area, even all the way out to the Inland Empire, an electric mass transit system, one of the best in the country, if not the world, which was basically dismantled in favor of automobile traffic and the freeway. It was actually a full-on conspiracy, tried in court and everything, to get rid of the red car so that people would have to drive and buy gasoline, etc., which makes the whole Roger Rabbit plot vastly more interesting, doesn't it? Anyway, it was to preserve the Pacific Electric Railway cars that the Orange Empire Railway Museum was founded. So they have a lot of pieces from the PERR? Whatever it's called, I can't think, I'm just in here for a few seconds. They have a lot of pieces from that railroad. And they also have this massive streamliner, which I am now allowed to climb up inside of with you guys. It's a little dark in here, but this is rad. Look at this, is where the engineer used to sit and pull his horn. I don't know if I'm allowed to pull the horn, I'm just gonna be gentle with that. This is so cool. These are like the trains from the old Super Chief days, the streamliners. This is what you would see from the engine. This is like every model train set I ever wanted to own, but I'm inside of it. Whoa, coming down. A little scarier than going up. That is so cool. I've never been inside of one of those before. Whew, look at that. There's the engine. Ooh, creepy and dark. Maybe haunted. Maybe next time. Check it out. We can go inside one of the old Pacific Electric Railway cars. Look at that. That is so cool. Look at these brake lines here. This is awesome. Is this what you pulled for your stop? This is so cool. I'm assuming that during the weekends there's probably lights on in here, so it's probably a little brighter. But this is awesome. I've only seen the red car in movies too, and the miniature one at DCA. I never realized how massive the real things were. I mean, one of these could swallow like 3 of the little DCA ones. I just always assumed the DCA ones were to scale. No idea why. Look at the size of these things. Oh look, Newport to Balboa. This right here would have been an Orange County one. Oh, this says this represents the Pacific Electric's last order of wooden cars. Ah. So this guy here was built in 1913. You don't really picture people riding around on public transit in 1913 in Orange County, but they did, and they did it in style. Look at that. I feel like I could take this thing to the neighborhood of make-believe. This is awesome. So crazy to see a piece of history. So lucky I ran into these people over here taking a little tour. Hollywood Boulevard red car. This is one that Eddie Valiant would have taken. Look at the stops on here. Santa Monica Boulevard, Cahuenga Pass, Universal City, even way back then. North Hollywood, Van Nuys. Dude, I wish these things were still running up in Hollywood. Then I wouldn't have to drive around. I wouldn't get so grumpy when I go up there, huh? Yeah. Dudes, check that out. That's where you used to put your money in to take your ride on the old school red car. Now this one is the one I think that would go down the actual streets, not as high as the railway cars out there. What a trip, man. This is crazy. This is much bigger than a city bus. Such a bummer that this doesn't exist on the streets anymore. Man, that's crazy. There's the controls. Had to be a driver in each one. Wild. Whew. This one was built in 1924, so it's made out of metal and brawn and manly stuff. Pretty warm in here. I was just thinking, they probably didn't have air conditioning back then. So this is realistic. Man, I got a lot of stuff in here. It's all covered with plastic. Kind of spooky. Of all the things that I thought might happen today, I did not expect to be standing inside of an old Pullman mail sorting car. They used to have to deliver the mail by train, and they would sort the mail for its different destinations on the train while it's moving. Could you imagine them trying to do this in the mail trucks today on the freeway? I don't think that would work. Actually, that kind of makes me wonder. We still have trains around today, right? Do they still ship any mail by train? Because they could probably still be doing this. Most of the reason for the old train robberies was to get at the mail, especially gold and silver bullion going from west to east back in the day. That's why all those bandits would rob the train, to get the rich stuff from the mail. Knott's Berry Farm has given me an image of the bandits going on board all the old rail cars and holding people up for their gold watches and stuff, but that's usually not what they were after. Same thing with the stagecoaches. Crazy. I just love the design of all the old streamlined modern type of stuff. It just looks so cool. I would love to travel by train, especially if the trains looked like that.
Ja, they still have them.
Wow, look at that. That right there is a full-size steam locomotive. I feel like an ant next to this. It's a little bigger than the trains at Disneyland. Yeesh. Whoa. The trains at Disneyland, by the way, are actually real locomotives, some of them, that came from back in the 18-diggity-hundreds. But they were little narrow gauge trains that mostly worked out on farms and plantations, things like that. This here was a full-on big old steam train from back in the day. According to the sign from 1922. They used this one in the movie Changeling. Whew, from the smell of it, it's still in operation. It's quite a powerful odor. Smells like progress. This thing used to burn wood, then coal. Now it burns oil. That's why it smells like rotting dinosaur. Pleasant. Very, very cool. Look at that thing. It's huge. Look at the size of that. Crikey. Hurry, run for it. Okay, we got lucky. The volunteer is going to lead us inside just to take a peek at Ward Kimball's train. Oh, wow. That is awesome. So there you go. That's Ward Kimball's narrow gauge train, huh? Chloe. Grizzly Flats Railroad. Just like the ones at Disneyland. Old sugar plantation train. Converted. Wow, look at that. That's crazy. Built by the same place that built that huge locomotive in the other room. That is awesome. That right there, that little train from the sugar plantation, Chloe, that's what inspired the Disneyland Railroad. Apparently, Ward Kimball himself is the one that donated the money to build the barn. Look at this. Here's the Emma, Nevada. Ward Kimball's full-size steam locomotive. Looks like right now they're working on preserving the Emma, Nevada. So you go online to Facebook, look up Friends of the Emma, Nevada. I can see they're all built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works, the same ones that built some of the Disneyland Railroad trains. Look at that. That is so cool. Walt Disney was operating this thing in Ward Kimball's backyard. That is radical. Here it is out in Nevada for all kinds of service, apparently on the Nevada Central Railway. And Ward Kimball and his wife purchased the train, and there it is, getting moved to Southern California, where it was restored in Ward Kimball's backyard, and they used to operate this thing in their neighborhood. That's crazy. And look at the passenger cars there. That right there is awesome. If you go look back at Disneyland history, you'll see some very similar Disneyland Railroad passenger cars, one of which today is the Lily Bell. The other ones were actually sold off and they're still operating on a railway up in Northern California. So I hope to go up there and check that out soon too. We only have a couple minutes, this poor guy. He's just letting us in here just to take a peek. That's amazing. Ward Kimball's trains. Now, of course, there's an engine at Disneyland named after Ward Kimball. Pretty cool. It's a crazy piece of railroading and Disney history here. Not just because Ward Kimball was an amazing animator. I think he created, among other things, I think he drew Jiminy Cricket and different characters. But I mean, he was largely responsible for spurring on Walt Disney's interest in full-size trains, coming up with the Disneyland Railroad. Amazing. Okay, we'll be back. We'll be back.
Okay, one last long look at Ward Kimball's beautiful little train, Chloe. And then, one last crazy ride on this cart to see one more Disney-related item really quick.
So this is the one from Singing in the Rain?
This one was in Singing in the Rain.
And this is the red car from Roger Rabbit. That is so cool. So this museum acquired them from the Hollywood studios. That is awesome. Roger Rabbit's red car.
Lauren Hardy.
That is so cool.
That was the film about the back lot, which is about it.
Well, there's a lot more to see here. Like a funeral car from the old Los Angeles Railway, once owned by Henry Huntington. Some of these used to run down in Orange County as well. I just think of all OC happening in the 1950s with Disneyland. Crazy that all this old school stuff was operating back then. Public transit. Apparently it operated for a lot longer than I thought too, because look at this. Look at that cool streamline looking version. This looks like an old 50s bus. That is so cool. I wish I knew more about trains and cars too, but more about trains than I do know. Like I wish I knew what the heck that thing right there is. Lots of reasons to come back. There's a lot left to learn. If you've ever ridden a bus in Orange County today, you'll know the Octa is really not that crazy in terms of design. Look how much work and craftsmanship. Curved windows, for example, went into the old public transportation. This is so cool. Pretty sure if they had these in Anaheim today, I would be riding them around. Almost looks like a jolly trolley right there. Sweet. Okay, this is one of the old cable cars that operated in San Francisco and then later was moved to Knott's Berry Farm. I always wondered what happened to their old cable cars. There's old brochures and stuff that show photos of it. And I was like, what happened to those? I don't remember those. Singing in the Rain, Roger Rabbit, Knott's Berry Farm, Disney history. There's a lot going on here. And plenty of cars here that need restoration work. They're always looking for volunteers and members. I heard it's only $60 to become a member of this for your whole household. Check out, visit as many times as you want. Oh, sounds pretty good to me. Okay, well, this was a very unexpected treat, being able to come out here. Man, I want a car that looks like this. I would love to travel in an RV that was a replica of this. You know how many kicks I could get on Route 66 if I had like an RV version of that? That's pretty dope. Okay. Time to be moving along. I knew that some of these things were here. I had no idea just how much was here, and we were moving too quickly because I was here the last second on a day when nothing's open for me to really grasp the concept of all that I was looking at, but I've been handed some historical information, and I've learned ever so much more than I expected to learn in an hour or two. For example, this museum is built on the site of an old town called Pinacate, or Pinacate, not sure how you pronounce it, which was a little stop for gold miners in them there hills. I never knew there were any gold miners in Perris or Moreno Valley. That's crazy, but look at here. Pinacate. This was the old stage stop and store. One of the original buildings, still here all this time later, from the 1880s. Then the trains came in and made the stage stops unnecessary. Slowly, slowly, slowly went into decay till the property was bought by the people who founded the museum. Okay, pretty much officially can't wait to come back and explore this place a whole lot more. See, this morning I was debating pretty hard, like, should I even go out there? All the stuff's probably gonna be closed. Probably won't be able to see Grizzly Flats. And I was like, okay, I kind of want to see the ticket booths. Maybe I can stop by my grandma's old house and just take a look at what it looks like today and all that kind of stuff. And then, surprise, we get to see all this other stuff I didn't even know was here. Roger Rabbit car, are you kids singing in the rain? Are you freaking kidding me right now? Oh my gosh. And look at this. It's time for Fun Pig! Look at this! I'm a conductor! Time to go! What a fun one. Yep, this is pretty much the raddest thing ever. If you come on a weekday, you might get lucky enough to be shown around. You might be unlucky enough to see nothing except the ticket booths out there. But if you come on a weekend, apparently they have trains that are running that you can get on, and an old Pacific Electric rail car that you can get on and ride around. You can climb up into a bunch of these trains here. I was told it's the third largest such museum on the West Coast, which is pretty good for just being out here in Perris, P-E-R-R-I-S, and me never having been here or heard of it before. This is amazing. Just one last thing before we leave the museum. Remember, do not trespass on the railroad tracks. The maximum penalty is death. Dun, dun, dun. Of course, try telling that to this Christmas elf over here, little daredevil. Well, that was worth roaming around in 100 and something degree weather to check out. 100% awesome. It costs us nothing. Please come out to this museum and support them with your hard-earned cash. They got all kinds of restorations going on here. Like I said, they're in need of volunteers and they're looking for members. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on the highly recommended list for Southern California, for sure. How amazing was that, you guys? How awesome was that? Just on the fly, out of nowhere. Bam! Another adventure. That is so cool. Goodbye, old ticket booth friend. I will always remember you and the excitement I felt when my parents spent all of their money purchasing tickets from you. The first Disneyland annual passport I ever owned, I bought from probably one of these ticket booths. Amazing. I stood right here and plopped down that 70-something dollars that my grandma gave me for Christmas. My last annual pass cost significantly more than that. I think 2 more numerals. It's okay though. Freaking awesome. Disney history, railroad history, nailed it. Granted that Perris isn't exactly my neighborhood, but I did used to roam around here as a kid, and like I always say, it's amazing what you can find in your own backyard, so to speak. Gotta tell ya, when I parked my car in this parking lot, I didn't think we were gonna get inside and be able to see anything, so heck yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say this qualifies as a fun one. Remember, Patreon keeps me going. Patreon.com/JustinScott if you'd like to contribute $1 a month or so. If you enjoy these videos, livefastdieport.spreadshirt.com for my t-shirts. I gotta tell you, by the time I was free to film today, I really thought that nothing was going to happen, and I was kind of like, man, maybe I should just chalk this up as a failure today. I was like, I don't have my wind mic, I'm not gonna be able to see anything, but the thing is, if you get up and you work as hard as you can, you take the risk, you never know how it can pay off. So always try, always at least try, you know? All right, time to head back home for something completely different and get the heck out of this wind, which you would think feels nice, but no, it feels like a furnace. I don't care how hot it is, whenever I come out this way, there's some important people that I need to see. This is Riverside National Cemetery. The last time I was here as a pallbearer, unfortunately. The first time that I was ever out here was basically back around when my grandma moved out here. When they laid my grandfather to rest back out here in 1989. I don't know much about the afterlife because I've never been there, but I will say that some people really feel like, okay, the dead are dead, and that means they're gone, they're done, that's it. For me, not so much. Even if, let's say, like I said, I've never been to the afterlife, so I don't know that much about it, but let's say that there's nothing going on up there. To me, when you have a place to come like this, then the dead really aren't that dead, because we have a place where we can go and remember them. Which is why, personally, I hope that I have a grave somewhere sometime when I perish and I'm not just, you know, cremated and scattered around. It's pretty warm and windy out here. I don't know if ghosts and spirits are real. I can't tell you what to believe, but all I know is if I had a grave, I would sure as heck want my grandchildren to stop by and visit me every once in a while. So whenever I'm out in this area, I always try to stop by and just have a few minutes. So I'm just gonna, I'll be right back. My eyes get very sweaty with respect out here. Must be all the grass. One of those pesky ducks spit in my eye. Okay, moving on. It's funny, isn't it, death? Because when someone you love dies, you don't ever really heal. It'll always hurt forever. You just learn to live with the hurt in a way. Try your best not to forget them, keep their memory alive, and you, and be someone that they'd be proud of, I guess. It's funny because sometimes the memory hurts. It's painful and sad in a way, but it's almost painful and sad like in a good way. I don't know how to explain, you know, nostalgia. It hurts, but I don't know. That's a good thing, I think, to remember. All right, now back to Orange County. Oh, see that pond over there? That's where the ducks were that spit in my eyes. Always beware of duck spit. Before I can continue with my evening plans, I have to conduct a little business at the mall. It turns out the alley here has some unused JCPenney gift cards. Seems kind of pointless because neither one of us ever buy anything at JCPenney until we remembered there's a Sephora in this JCPenney. Until we remembered there might be something in JCPenney we could use after all. All right, here we go. It calls to me. Oh. The smell of happiness. Look at Johnny Depp, I'm pretty sure hates this smell. But I don't. I bet you never thought having so much JCPenney money would pay off in me smelling like Johnny Depp. I have to have the smell. I can't breathe from the smell of it, but it's probably fine. I don't know what it is, Al. Something about it. It calls to me. The sausage. David Bowie?
Thanks to a series of points in those gift cards, we basically got Johnny Depp stink for $5. This is perfect. $70-something cologne for $5.
And what am I gonna do with it? Honestly, I don't know yet. Something.
All right, that pretty much wraps things up at the mall. Now we have something awesome to do. After Allie gets a picture of Plucky Ducky, only $1. You got any dollars? Do you really? You want to play Plucky Ducky, don't you?
Yeah.
Play Plucky Ducky.
What should I do?
You should have looked beforehand and pre-gamed it. Up. Are you doing it? Here we go. Up. Ooh, you did it! No way. No way. You actually won something? No way. I've never gotten anything out of a claw machine in my entire life. It always falls. Look how plucky this ducky is. Dude, Allie, you are the wiener. You are the wiener. You're the big wiener.
Hey everybody, we're the big Wieners. We Wien.
What'd you say? You want the which one?
The sheep duck.
The sheep duck? The sheep? Oh, the sheep duck.
Do it. Get it.
She's going for it. She's going for the sheep duck. Here we go. Oh, here we go. No way. Oh. Wait, it's letting you do it again? Try it. No way. Oh, double miss. Oh. That time you got one. What? What's wrong?
Oh, I see, look. Prize every time. It lets you do it till you win. You're right.
What's wrong with this plucky ducky? He's cute. Okay. Wait, what did you just say?
I said it's so fun. I want it in my house.
Plucky Ducky at home. The home edition.
You could have people over and make some money.
I was just thinking you could put your socks in there, your underwear, and then you're like, I need some socks today. I'm gonna play Plucky Socky. And then you get your socks. Then they don't come, like it misses, and you're like, dang it, where's the quarter?
And then be late to school.
Yeah, and then be late to school. I don't go to school. You'd be late to school. I would be fine. I'd be just like, well, sorry guys, can't vlog. Gonna do it. Playing. Yeah, probably a bad idea. Never mind.
I have come over to the home of my YouTuber friend, Baker Girl Steph. She bakes things like cake pops, things with gluten in them that I can't have, that fake Tyler has all the time. We're gonna watch the original Star Wars together as a group. I don't know where Allie went. No one knows. But first, a surprise for my friend Tyler. A surprise for my friend Tyler.
What is it?
Well, you know how much that I know how much you know, right? Yes. So here it is. A little bit of smell. It smells so good. Oh, Alex, did you smell that? Did you smell it? It's sausage. Don't you love it? Don't you love it?
It smells
How you
like a
doing?
men's
So good.
room.
Is that what
It smells great. It smells great.
I had like no hair, but I was like doing this and like.
Yeah, it's great. And now with that, we've done our duty. We can go home and sleep well. Allie, do you like the smell? Allie likes the smell. Do you think I did Tyler a favor, right? Yeah. I did her. I got you. That's expensive $5 cologne.
Got me.
So, ladies.